And welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. Turn the music down way too low. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Episode 298. We would have been way past 300 right now, but at some point, about maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was like, I cannot do anything for this website. I am so tired of life. Here we are. You want a little background? If you want a little background, I moved some cables around. I still don't like the way this looks, but there should be a lot less crackling. It's just not bunched. Everything's wrapped neatly. It's the XLR cable for the mic. It's just wrapped in a little pile. And it has been since day one. It has not moved. I haven't unwrapped it in a long, and to make it lengthwise. It's all been Velcroed together, and it's all connected to the Zoom. I grew tired of hearing the noise, and I'm tired of the cable hitting my leg. I woke up from a nap. I had a nap. I'm tired. What's been going on? I did not see a movie today because a movie did not come out. Or this week. Tomorrow I will watch while I'm working out, I will watch the Jessica Alba Trigger Warning movie. I had no idea that movie existed. I went to Atom Tickets because I started talking about movies. And Kinds of Kindness will be playing in theaters at some point. So I will be going to see that. It's not going to be playing at my local AMC. It is playing at other AMCs, which means I'll have to drive to go see it. Or I can ride my bike to my local landmark Midtown Art Cinema. But I don't want to pay to see it. So I drive a hybrid. So the gas would be negligible. Or I could bike and pay money. Welcome in. This is what we do. If this is your first episode, good luck to you. Don't go back and listen to the other ones. It's not worth it. There's no story elements. What else has been going on? I recently sold a bunch of old video games that I wasn't collecting that I planned to sell myself on eBay. I had to drive all the way to Beaufort, Georgia for that. It's not a pleasant drive, especially during the day. I had to go to Lenox Mall, which is, I hate going to that area of Buckhead, period. I hate going to that area, and it's the closest Apple store. It's not the only one. It is the closest Apple store. And I had to, thank goodness they're still under warranty. My Beats Fits Pros, last Friday, the right one fell on the ground. Not even that high, and it's fallen many times before. It fell on the ground while I was working out, and then the sound went kaput. So, thank goodness it's still under warranty. Thank goodness I still have my my Power Beats Pros, which led to me getting those Beats Fits Pros. They broke after like 4 years or something, and like literally just the earpiece just popped out. So last night I glued it together with my trusty Gorilla Glue, which also I had to glue my handle to the. I think like the first month or two that I moved into this apartment, which was 4 years ago at this point, the handle to that microwave in the back, if you're watching the video, broke. And I called the maintenance people, and they came look at it, and they're like, we'd have to replace, you can't take off the door and fix it, so we'd have to replace the whole microwave, and you'd be charged for it. And I just went, this is where this is going to go. Oh, God. So I glued it back. I also have, never mind, I'm not going to say that. What else? I was going to say I have pets here and they don't know about it, but who cares? And then and then today I'm looking down at I'm checking through the email to find stories because I did not have any stories this week. And it looks as though I thought that since both of my Google accounts are connected, one for C Plus Comedy and one for me, that I would be able to utilize the terabyte of data that I have for Google One. I cannot. Because for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's something I have to figure out. I should be able to use... Anyway, what I'm saying is the C Plus Comedy Gmail account is near full after 11 years. Because I don't delete anything. I don't need to delete anything. But I still have everything I received from day one. They're also... the views of both email accounts, my personal and the Gmail account for, and the other account rather for C Plus Comedy have different views, and I don't know how to change them. Anyway, that's that. Nothing else is going on. I was struggling to find stories. Let's get to it. Resident Alien has been renewed for season 4 and it's coming back to a different network, changing networks. This comes from James Hibbard over at The Hollywood Reporter. Resident Alien, quite possibly one of the more popular interviews I've done in the past couple of years, is coming back, which is good news for niche sci-fi comedy shows. Cable, too. And it's moving from Sci-Fi, SYFY, to USA Network. I remember when they changed the name Sci-Fi, and I always thought, that's so stupid, but people remember it. Hopefully, it'll find a bigger audience on USA, just like it did on Netflix, which is good. Netflix has the first 2 seasons right now. And yes, it could be, it's you can watch it on Peacock too, but how many people really have Peacock compared to how many people have Netflix? The most recent season averaged 3.3 million total viewers across all platforms. I think the show's very well done. I think it's not, if Mad Men was prestige cable drama, then this is like one level below that. There's multiple levels. So anybody who's, how dare you say it's not as good as that? No. It's just a little bit below that. Just one level below that. The move comes on the heels of USA re-entering the scripted original space by picking up a straight-to-series order for a reboot of John Grisham legal drama The Rainmaker from producers Lionsgate TV and Blumhouse TV. You might have just seen me pull out fully the headphone cable and do some stuff with my arms. Mostly because it was trapped under the XLR cable. It doesn't matter. Who cares? I didn't know that USA was going to do more scripted stuff. Just as TNT seems to be getting out of that game. TNT seems to be getting out of a lot of things. Inside the NBA is more than likely done. Chuck's not coming back after this upcoming basketball season. He's done with TV. What are you supposed to do? Anyway, that's not that. Well, I mean, that is here. That is here and there. Cable is waning. Subscriptions are waning. However, there needs to be a middle area. This is why I think Resident Alien is very important at this point in time. And shows like The Lazarus Project, which is on TNT, but it's a British show, so that will only live as long as TNT wants to keep importing it. However, there needs to be some type of middle area between streaming and broadcast, and that is what cable originally was. It was the middle area between prestige shows on HBO and Showtime. And Stars, I guess. And Cinemax, I guess, too. The Nick. What's the other one? Oh, God. The Quarry, The Nick, and there was another show on Cinemax, Strike Hard or something like that. See, I'm not going to be able to find it. Cinemax Strike Back. That's what it was called. Why? again, that lives in the back of my head for some reason. Anyway, that show lasted 8 seasons apparently. But cable is the perfect area to continue developing for, because you can take those shows anywhere. And if you can strike up a deal with Peacock to run a show, and I know Peacock owns Comcast, which owns Sci-Fi and USA, whatever, and they already produce Resident Alien. But if Peacock can hold the rights to along with you, if Resident Alien airs first on cable on USA, and you manage to get 2 million views from that, and then you manage to get 800,000 people from the next day airing on Peacock, and then at some point in the future, 6 months from now, when the season is done and Netflix gets the rights to season 3, that helps you in the long run. And the executives need to remember that. If you want to put Westworld and Raised by Wolves on Tubi, then keep producing those shows, and Tubi will have more to look at. Why do you think syndicated shows like The Office, and Sunny used to be run on FXX, now not anymore, but The Office and South Park and Law and Order, these shows are still going. Well, hold on, South Park and Law and Order are still going. South Park's barely still going. South Park's doing one special or movie a year, 1 or 2 a year, but the case still stands. South Park and Law and Order still going. The Office lasted for 9 seasons and has 22 episodes per season, with the exception of the first 3, I think. The first 2 doesn't matter anyway. But there's a lot of episodes to go through because they are worth so much money, and I think it's important to continue making shows that don't have the biggest budgets and that you don't have to make 22 episodes of for these smaller audiences, because yes, the hope is that they find more viewers and bring more money, but also it just fills out your roster a little bit. This next one comes from The Verge, written by Andrew Lezuski. The first iPhone game streaming service brings hundreds of licensed retro games. Antstream will launch on the App Store with over 1,300 retro titles from Atari, Amiga, and Nintendo consoles on June 27th. This is a huge deal thanks to the European Union's Digital Markets Act, the DMA, last year. This is the App Store has to open up to different ways of being able to accept games and stuff like that. So that's why we have things like, I'm looking at my iPad right now, the Delta app, I believe that's what it's called, RetroArch, PPSSPP, which are different ways you can play with the last one, PlayStation Portable, RetroArch. You can play the Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, way other Nintendo DS. Those are the ones that I touch. I don't care about anything else. Oh, I think Dreamcast as well. And Delta, you can do a lot of stuff with too. PS2, I think, something like that. And Antstream is a subscription service, which we'll get to in a second. That's available on places like Xbox, Windows, Android, and Amazon devices, which has games like Sam & Max Hit the Road and Asteroids and Super Star Wars Return of the Jedi, which I feel, and this is not a hit to those games, but I feel as though these games are the Pluto, the Pluto catalog, the Tubi catalog, the Roku catalog. They're basically in the, like, if I wanted to, this is going to sound so bad, but if I wanted to get Missile Command and make my own version of Missile Command, nobody would sue me. I feel like it's like copyright. Like, I feel like the copyright's gone on those games. So many different platforms already exist. The Commodore 64, the ZX Spectrum. You can find all of these you can find the games from these on this service. And this is just a great way to keep expanding the App Store's capabilities. We could already do this again on Android phones. I could pick up my phone right now, and I could go and download any manner of emulator, the exception of Nintendo ones. I could do Dolphin, can't do Citra, but lo and behold, I still have Citra. Can't re-download it though. We'll see what happens. And you'll be able to access games as long as you have legal ways of playing those games. If you have the ROMs that you own yourself, you did not download them illegally. The subscription is discounted to $3.99 per month or $29.99 per year, and it's usually $4.99 per month or $39.99 per year. Apple originally wanted to charge people, they wanted to block people from having access to this, block developers from being able to do this. But now, maybe at some point in the future, we'll see an Xbox game store or Epic Games bring the ability to buy games over here. But this is a great first step. It's slow, but hopefully by the time this launches and people catch on to it, we'll be able to get more and more like this. Let's move on to streaming. Oh, I have been locked out from this. So this is what we'll do. I'm going to go and find a way to read this article in the only way I know how. And now I have to keep vamping. And this is annoying because, quite frankly, I forgot let's see if I remember this. Yep. I remembered it. Save. All right, this comes from The Wrap. This is what happens when you gatekeep all of your articles. I will support you. I will turn off the ad block, but don't hide all of your articles. This comes from Lucas Manfredi at Wrap. The Wrap. Streaming hits record 38.8% of total TV usage in May. Obviously, TV streaming is going to be is a huge prospect. Streaming movies, streaming television at home, especially since the pandemic. Boom! It just kind of locked people in to a thought process of I'm never going to the movie theater again. I'm never paying for cable again. And people are set in their ways because it's easier. Hey, if I can pay $9 a month or $10 a month for Netflix with ads and Disney Plus with ads and or get a bundle with Disney Plus and Hulu and Max with ads for $12 from Verizon or whatever, then I'm fine. I don't ever want to spend money I don't have to or go see a movie I don't have to. That's not me. That's not my process, but that's just what some people think. 38.8%. It's a roughly flat month over month, but up over 8% on an annual basis, according to Nielsen's The Gauge. YouTube continued its streak as the most watched platform because it's free. Now, if you look at this photo from The Gauge, YouTube is at 9.7%, Netflix is at 7.6%, Hulu, which is interesting, at 3.1%, Prime Video is at 3%, and Disney Plus, Disney Plus and Tubi are tied at 1.8%. Roku is at 1.5%, Max is at 1.2% with Paramount Plus, and Peacock's at 1.1%, and Pluto TV is at 0.9%. I think about this. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but I think about this all the time. Truly, I think about this all the time, especially when I'm flicking through any one of these streaming platforms. And yes, I do have access to every single one of these. At my local at a local coffee shop, at any point I can walk in there and there's a TV on. There's one TV, and it's always playing, a TV show, a movie, or whatever. At one point, it was playing The Simpsons. If I owned a local business, I don't care what it is, and it had a TV in there, I would always be playing The Simpsons. I would go to Pluto TV and play something and just let it run. I go to Pluto TV, put on the Star Trek channel, and just let it go. Put on the old Doctor Who's, put on Pluto Action or Pluto Comedy. I would just let it go. I think it'd be a very fun thing to do. Broadcast is at 22.3%. Cable's at 28.2%. And other ways to watch TV is at 10.8%. I don't know what that means. But streaming is at 38.8%. Fast platforms have a combined 4.1%. And those are going to be growing and have been growing. The fast platforms are the free ad-supported televisions, which include Pluto, Tubi, and Roku. And I guess Plex. Because I know they have a free streaming thing. This does show that broadcast is still a viable way to watch. Cable is also a very surprising number to me. I thought I knew it would be almost on parity with broadcast, but with it being higher than broadcast, it still shows that even though people are leaving, they're still accepting of watching things on cable, which is like me. Like today, while I was stretching after my workout, I just went to the library page, and you know what show I'm going to mention? The Simpsons. I have 35 seasons all recorded, and I just pressed play and let it go. I think this morning I just chose an episode from season 17, and I went through 3 episodes. Not all stretching. I stretched, I made breakfast, I ate breakfast, I took a shower, came back out, and like an episode had been playing, stuff. Cable is very important too because of sports. The Kentucky Derby was on NBC, and it ran with 16 million viewers, but you could also watch it on Peacock. Cable also had the NCAA basketball tournaments. We've got the Olympics coming up, and of course you're going to be able to watch everything on Peacock, but also if you have cable, you can watch it on USA, you can watch it on NBC Sports, all the different stuff. There is a decline, obviously. In May 2023, traditional linear TV viewing fell 7 share points year over year. In comparison, it was about half of that with a loss of 3.4 points this year. Overall, TV usage was down 2.4% month over month, following typical trends from that time of the year, but up 1.4% on an annual basis. I think that is, I would say that 1.4 is up because of sports. Again, that's not me. But what we know is these I'm trying to do a good transition. These things run on ads, and ads are very important for TV. It runs on ads. Ads are very important for streaming as well. And Disney's aggressive bid for streaming ads leave video rivals scrambling. This comes from Variety, written by Brian Steinberg. Oh, also, I believe the Hollywood Reporter laid off some people. Hold on, I gotta find it. I just typed it. I didn't type in layoffs. I just typed in a Hollywood Reporter. Let's see, Hollywood Reporter, this also comes from the Wrap, laid off a bunch of people that I enjoy reading. And now it's what really sucks? It's from an article from the Wrap, and I have to do the thing I did earlier. You better believe. People like Leslie Goldberg were laid off. Leslie was a fantastic writer over there. Rebecca's son as well. Multiple people were laid off. Really stinks. Leslie Goldberg's a good writer. All right, anyway. Disney is soaking up new commitments from advertisers in one of the driest upfront markets seen in recent years. And the company's efforts to win those ad dollars from Madison Avenue have some rivals spitting out dust. If you don't remember, the upfronts happen twice a year. The summer upfronts are the most important because they get ready they're telling advertisers, by they I mean streaming services, cable companies who have television, who run television, say, this is what we have coming up. This is why you want to buy ad spots with us, ad time with us. So Disney could say, hey, we've got basketball, hockey, a slew of other sports, And then we also have hot new shows coming out on ABC. We've got new things coming out on Disney and Disney Plus. Buy some time with us because you're going to love it. In a bid to win overall commitments, Disney has been striking deals that call for significant rollbacks in the rates it charges to reach 1,000 viewers, a measure known as CPM, on its Disney Plus streaming hub, according to 6 people with knowledge of recent discussions in the industry's upfront market. Each year, during the upfront, U.S. media companies try to sell their bulk of commercial inventory for the next cycle of program, blah, blah, blah. Disney has, in some cases, agreed to reduce CPMs for Disney Plus by as much as 10 to 15%, according to some of the executives. In exchange for lowered rates, Disney is securing deals that call for a certain level of volume of ad support across its portfolio. But some of Disney's rate capitulation has angered rivals who had hoped not to roll back their numbers to such a degree and are being forced to do so in order to match Disney's offer. So it seems to me like Disney, I'm sorry, there's something that's really bothering me. I'm not caught up on Star Trek Discovery, and there's an article that says Inside Star Trek Discovery series finale from Variety right there in front of me on the suggested story tabs, and I cannot look at it for the life of me. Anyway, it seems to me that because the upfronts are by dry, I do believe that Steinberg is referring to how companies are reluctant to buy ad space this year because it looks like every network has canceled a bunch of shows, and everyone from the Disney-owned networks to streaming services like Netflix, and they want to turn to channels like to fast channels like Tubi and Pluto and Roku. That last part was me. And so it appears as though Disney's saying, "Hey, you don't have to. Let's pretend an ad spot is $100. It's not. Let's pretend. Hey, you don't have to spend $100. You can spend $90 or $85, but we're going to be able to not only run that ad on ABC, but also Disney Plus and also Disney Junior, without you having to charge us more." And, if Disney was a big spender and let's say Warner was a big spender, now Warner's looking at it like, oh my gosh, well, Charmin's going to want to go with them because they don't have to spend $90 for every $100. TV's money scramble takes place in one of the most difficult bargaining sessions in recent memory. The dim outlook comes as advertisers move their dollars to streaming and digital media, where there is less pressure to place ad cash months in advance, which is what upfront bookings represent. What's more, there is a significant increase of digital video inventory available thanks to Amazon Prime Video's recent decision to make its basic streaming service ad-supported, which I'm not a fan of. I don't want to turn on The Boys and then watch 30 seconds of ads. But then in that same vein, as long as The Boys is in 4K, I'm straight. I don't want you to gatekeep 4K. That shouldn't be gatekept. YouTube TV. I already pay $73 a month. YouTube TV. Same thing for Netflix. In that case, I think, I'm going to go, this is a little bit of a tangent. At some point, Netflix Games is going to be its own thing, its own service. It's going to have to be spun off, or it's going to be an add-on. Netflix Games is you can go to Netflix's app, or their TV app. I think their TV app supports it, but also you can go to your phone app, your iPad app, and you can or your app store, and you can download games that Netflix either develops or has bought, such as the Grand Theft Auto games that are on mobile. And it's so frustrating because they keep buying up game studios and they keep buying up games, and they keep bringing games that were already available, like Dead Cells, on your Android and iPhones. And then they go, hey, as long as you subscribe to us, you can play Dead Cells Netflix edition. And yes, it has all the DLC and everything. But what does it say about gaming on mobile? That it's going to be reduced to more streaming or a subscription, just like Game Pass and PlayStation Network and Nintendo Switch Online. I can't subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online and get Nintendo 64 games and Game Boy Advance games, but you can't buy them. Let me buy them, Nintendo. That'd have been great to announce in the Nintendo Direct. This is why I have so many ROMs of Game Boy Advance games on the Steam Deck. You know what's also, this is the last tangent. In the games that I sold to the Video Game Trader, that's the name of the company, up in this callus on my hand just is so prominent. Let's see the other one. Yeah, they've got prominent calluses. So I'll go work out. At Video Game Trader in Buford, Georgia. They gave me great prices on the stuff I brought them. Like truly, I brought them not a lot of stuff, and they gave me a lot of money, mostly because of the stuff I was going to sell, and I know how much it was worth. But whatever, who cares? They did not give me what I wanted, but they gave me a lot of money. Anyway, no big deal. In that collection of games that I was going to sell, I knew what was in the collection. And that collection included, and also I'm going to tell you 4 of these games, and I'm going to tell you that when the guy essentially just gave me the games, he was like, "I'm selling this Nintendo 3DS, and here are the games." And he was selling this Nintendo 3DS for $40, I believe. I believe it was 40. It was either 35 or 40. It does not matter. Let's say it was 40. And then he was like, "I'm giving you," and he's also was like, "Oh, and it comes with all these games," and with the exception of one game, everything else is real. New Super Mario Brothers DS was fake. The guy gave it to me, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's fake." But the other games, 4 of them I kept, were Pokemon Soul Silver, which is a game I was looking for. No case, but if I had a case, it'd be worth $200. Pokemon Soul Silver. This game I already own. Pokemon White. Pokemon Black 2. And Legends of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. That's one game I could not emulate on the Steam Deck very well because it. Oh, I'm thinking of Spirit Tracks that requires a touchscreen. Whatever. Regardless, I kept it. I should have probably traded it then. Doesn't matter. Then I would have had more money. What are we talking about? Anyway, Amazon and Netflix are also facing headwinds, according to executives. These people say the 2 digital giants have sought more aggressive CPM rates than their TV competitors, but have found less traction other than for Amazon's Thursday Night Football. With Netflix getting into live television and live sports, such as the hot dog eating contest, I believe that's coming on later this summer or in the fall, I'm concerned about, I can hear people outside. Guys, I'm recording a podcast that dozen people listen to. There's no S. I wonder if that is factored, and it probably is, into their ad rates. The volume's going to be down all over the board, and it's going to, they're going to I think these companies are going to have to get creative, not the advertisers, but I believe the streamers are going to have to get creative, and this is the first step for Disney to do so. They want to spend the money, or they want to get the money spent, but they have to find ways to do it. And I think the streamers are a lot more flexible, or something that has streaming. So that includes Disney. So Disney and Netflix and Amazon are going to be a lot more flexible than Fox and NBC, because NBC does include streaming, but Peacock's not doing as well as Disney Plus, which is why they can make a lateral move, or what looks to be an upward move of accepting less money for ads. Anyway, listen, that's all I have for this episode. Why don't you head on over to cpluscomedy.com, where you can see me talk to famous people. You can also listen to Hold on, I'm trying to do two things at once. You can, if you want to watch a video version of the show, head to youtube.com/comedy, where you can also see video versions of the other podcasts. LinkedIn Logs, which is a job podcast, and Late Night Lately, which is the late night show, which I'm about to record right now. You can follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at C Plus Comedy. Follow me on those platforms at Chad Black White. Watch me talk to famous people as well on youtube.com/C Plus Comedy. And yeah, be on the lookout for all that stuff. We're going to keep going. I don't know what that means. Do not get on the couch. Do not get on the couch. Okay. Bye.